Hi there, today's lesson is P8.1 on linear relations. Alright, I pulled the same exact examples that you'll see in your visual notes to start this off. Okay, so we can represent a relation in different ways. For example, consider this relation x is related to 20 minus 3x. We create a table of values with an input and an output. And when x is 1, so you put the 1 in here, and then you substitute that 1 for x in this side. Okay, so 20 minus 3x is the same as 20 minus 3 times 1, which equals 17. Then you can put 2 in. You just keep adding 1. That's what those are all about. And you plug it into the original there, and you'll see that it's 14. And you continually can add these in. You'll see the pattern of it's less than 3 every time. And when what this shows you, this whole chart, when the input, this side, increases by 1, the output on this side decreases by 3. Okay, but what do we do with all that? So, what we can do is draw a graph, and that's where we're heading with this. So you use the data in this table right here, and you plot it on the graph. Okay, I'll go over a graph a little bit later here, so just the reminders that you might need. So here they've put when x is 1, remember this is the x-axis, this is the y. Okay, and again I'll talk about y later. The input's plotted on the horizontal, so this side is always on the horizontal, the one where the sun rises, horizon, that line. And the output on this side is always on the vertical. Vertical's up and down. 1 square represents 1 unit on the vertical axis. The square represents 2 units. So they put these in 1s and these as 2s. Okay, so then they found 1 and 17. So they've gone 1 on the horizontal, 17 on the vertical. 2 and 14, 3 and 11, and so on. And you can see that that forms a nice line. So you can write that relation by introducing the second variable y. Okay, instead of writing it like this, x is related to 20 minus 3x, we're now going to say y equals 20 minus 3x. So now we've got a table of values, an x and a y. Quite often this is written vertically as opposed to horizontally, but this fits nicely on the page for a visual. So when x is 1, y will equal 17, and so on. And what these create are called ordered pairs. Hopefully this is review from last year or the year before. Okay, so some of the ordered pairs of this relation are 1 and 17, 2 and 14, 3 and 11, and all the way up to x and y. Those are also ordered pairs, and they say some because this could go on forever, right? And a line is infinite. Okay, so here's an example from your book as well in your visual notes. Saskatoon Pizza charges $11 for a medium cheese pizza, plus $2 for each topping. An equation for this relation is C equals 11 plus 2n, when n represents a number of toppings and C represents a cost of the pizza in dollars. So use the equation to create a table of values. This is what your questions are going to look like. Use the equation to find the cost of the pizza with 5 toppings. Check your answer. And use the equation to find how many toppings are on a pizza that costs $27. So you can do a lot of things here. So the first thing we're going to do, use the equation to create a table of values. Since it's possible to order a pizza with no toppings, we're going to start our table of values n at 0. So when n is 0, the cost is, and we just plug it in. Okay, do the math. 11. Oh, sorry, wrong way here. There we go. So when n's 1, plug it into where n would be. 13, when n's 2, 15, when n's 3 is 17. So here's our table of values. We're using n and c instead of x and y. Same thing. All right. And to find the cost of a pizza with 5 toppings, we got to substitute n equals 5. And here they did that. Okay, substitute that 5 in for the n, did the math, found it was 21. Okay, so that 5-topping pizza will cost $21. And it said to check the answer, so you would just extend the table. So in the second column, the value of C increases by 2. So when n equals 4, C is 19, n equals 5, C equals 21. So you can see that that works out. And then C said, find out how many toppings are on a pizza that costs $27. Substitute C for 27. Okay, so now we're just doing algebra the other way. So we want to get n, the variable, by itself. So we're going to pull this over. This comes right from our last unit. Okay, so we subtract 11 from each side. We get 2n equals 16. We need that n by itself. Divide by 2, and n equals 8. So there's 8 toppings on a pizza that costs $27. To check the answer, calculate the cost of the pizza with 8 toppings. So it costs $11 plus 8 times $2, which is $11. Add that to 16 and you'll get 27. And this matches the cost, so you can tell that your answer is correct.